Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars. So we found out that the guy who was supposed to receive the diamond is in this hospital. So we're gonna go in the hospital, but first let's see if we can grab some stuff out of an ambulance, because why not? That's how it works in point and click adventure games. We have no logical
I
reason to
felt a
be
little
going
guilty
there.
as I tried the door, like I was about to rob a grave. I gripped the handle with an involuntary tremble in my hand and pulled. The door was locked.
So can't get anything out of it. Alright. I imagine we're gonna find the key though. They wouldn't bother to have items on the screen if we weren't gonna do something with it. Inside the hospital we go. So there's a row this way and a row this way. This is a very strange looking hospital. Big glass windows, plants everywhere, frescoes, giant chandelier. Let's talk to this doctor first, I guess.
Hi, my name's George Stobbart.
Really? If you wish to make an appointment, see the receptionist.
Let's talk about this guy.
I'm looking for a guy named Jacques Marquet.
In which department does he work?
He doesn't. He's a patient.
I see. You do realize there are strict policies regarding visiting hours, don't you?
And I'm in the middle of the day right now, so what are the visiting hours?
This is important. I have to talk to Marquet urgently.
We make no exceptions to the rules.
It's a matter of life and death.
The well-oiled running of this hospital is a matter of life and death. That's why we have rules.
So I'm looking at this animation of the secretary back here typing, and I've noticed that with the pixel choice here of such a low resolution sprite, her hair right here, this circular part of her hair, excluding this other circular part, is bigger than her head. She has this ponytail coming out as big, if not larger, than her head. And she's typing on a computer, but her fingers are actually typing like several inches above all the keys. But whatever. Can't really be surprised about any of that, considering how old this game is. At least they look pretty decent up here.
I think I ought to warn you that Marquet is not what he seems.
Explain yourself.
He's in league with a bunch of guys who want to take over the world.
Nonsense. Besides, Marquet's employers have paid in advance for one of our most exclusive private rooms.
Interesting.
Could you tell me who Marquet's employers are?
Certainly not.
So let's ask some questions, some dumb questions first. Hey, I got that manhole cover tool back, but I've lost something else here too. What have I lost? We have the matchbook, we have the card, we have the tissue, we have the nose, we have the photo, we have the joy buzzer. But there was something that we've used. We lost the towel with water. That's gone. And feels like something else got used up.
Does this white powder mean anything to you?
No, sir. I do not pretend to know the pharmacist's job.
Yeah, I don't think the pharmacist would be able to identify white powder either. That's why they put numbers on the pills and make them different shapes and colors.
What do you make of this tissue, sir?
If I were you, I'd have the sample analyzed.
Do you recognize this red nose, sir?
No, I do not. This is a hospital, not a circus ring. We minister to the sick in body, not the sick in mind.
It's kind of weird he's calling him sir these days. Yeah, I don't end up calling very many people sir at all. In fact, honestly, I think I've only done it once in my life. Without being ironic or being forced into it and not really meaning it.
Does the name Thomas Merlin mean anything to you?
No, it does not.
Let's see, does he know anything about the matchbook?
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamat?
No, sir, I have not.
But this might also be a translation issue. Yeah, it probably is a localization issue. Because if this was in French, they'd be saying, no, monsieur, oui, monsieur, and they're translating monsieur into sir, when really it should just be no and yes, and it should just be shortened for the English language.
Does this tool mean anything to you?
Sacre bleu! That's exactly what I needed in my last operation.
It is?
I had to improvise with a knitting needle and a couple of corks. If only you'd been on hand at the time. My patient would have given his right arm for it.
Interesting.
Look at this, Doc. It's a genuine medieval type gemstone.
Yes, so I see. Remarkable.
I have to take this gem to Marquet. He might be able to explain its significance.
My dear chap, Marquet has other things on his mind right now.
Like what?
His catheter, for one.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, sir, I do not.
I should be telling him, if you see this man, call the police immediately.
May I have the honor of shaking you by the hand?
You may not. I don't encourage physical contact between my staff.
Well, it wouldn't be between your staff because he doesn't work for you, but whatever.
Thanks for your help.
So that was kind of pointless. This is kind of just a hotel puzzle, I bet, all over again. Try to figure out a way inside the room. Simple puzzles reused.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Is this the Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
I thought I was in a garden center.
Oh, the plants. They were my idea. A little greenery to evoke the spirit of nature. How may I help you?
Let's ask about this guy.
I'm here to see Jacques Marquet.
Oh, yes. Are you related to our client, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm his, long-lost brother.
A brother half his age with a different name and an American accent.
Yeah, people always say that. I blame Mom. We were separated at an early age. After a mix-up in the nursery at the Oakland shopping mall.
I've never heard anything so ridiculous in all my life.
I guess not.
Let's see. Let's continue asking about him.
So, do I get to see Marquet before the funeral?
That attitude will get you nowhere. My instructions were quite clear. No one gets to see Marquet. So unless you can prove you're a relative or a close acquaintance, you're wasting your time here.
Interesting.
Has Marquet been visited by a man in a clown costume?
Oh, no.
You haven't seen a man in disguise?
Well, there's Theodore the Bear. He comes every Thursday to entertain the children. Personally, I think he scares them half to death in that crummy old bear suit. If I was stuck on my back with tubes in every orifice, he's the last person I'd want to see.
So, again, it's kind of stupid. He keeps asking about the clown outfit, considering we already know that at the very least in the original game, excluding the director's cut, we already know that the killer was running around in the pixie outfit now, and without his red nose and without the makeup, I don't think he would go back to the clown outfit. That would be silly. It wouldn't cover his face.
Has Marquet had a visit from a pair of gangsters?
I should hope not. Can you describe them?
A thin guy who looks like a weasel and his friend, the gorilla.
Sounds as if they escaped from the zoo.
Yeah, he keeps always describing them in ridiculous terms like that. That's not going to help anybody.
Is this plaster any use to you?
I'm allergic to plaster.
Can you think of any use for this greasy tissue?
I guess you could use it to baste a roast turkey.
What does this false nose remind you of?
Oh, it's a clown's nose.
Let's keep asking questions.
Look at this ID pass.
So you're Merlin. Marquet's been asking for you.
For me?
It works.
Yes. He was shouting your name when they brought him in here. Now, let me see. He was on Ward B12, as I recall. Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh, dear. He's on Ward J2. That's Nurse Grendel's ward.
Ah, what's the deal with Nurse Grendel?
What's so bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whip the butt off the Marquis de Sade. Everything, I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock alarm call, 6:10 bowel movements, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result. Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
So let's keep asking about Nurse Grendel here.
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
She's like part of the furniture.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous, with a big green capital J. How do I find Nurse Grendel's ward?
Down the corridor on the left, turn right at the senior consultant's washroom. Right again at the executive coffee lounge. Bear left past the administrator's sauna. And
Sauna?
turn left at the end. That's J2. And good luck.
So let's continue asking questions.
Have you heard of the Club Alamet?
No. It sounds romantic, doesn't it?
The volume just jumped up out of nowhere.
What does this tool suggest to you?
Is it a crack detector?
Huh?
Polar explorers use them to poke about in the snow.
Oh no.
Let's ask about this.
What does this gem suggest to you?
I advise you not to flash that around.
Let's see if she knows this guy.
Have you seen this man here at the clinic?
No, sir. And I never forget a face.
And let's see if we can buzz her.
I'd like to shake you by the hand.
Don't be fresh, young man.
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
So now we know which way to go, and it's the one on the left, so let's go to the one on the right and see what we find down
As I
this
turned the
hallway.
corner, I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through the corridors. It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow.
Interesting, he's polishing the floor, which I guess it kind of makes sense. A lot of wheels and wheelchairs going on in this area in a hospital, but you have to be careful too. You don't want it too slick so that people fall down. Let's see what's behind this door.
Hey now, you can't go in there.
How come?
I'm responsible for the contents of that cupboard.
So I can't get anything in the cupboard. Let's go over here and see what this is. It seems like a plug.
As I tugged the plug out of the socket, the polishing machine coughed, spluttered, and died.
I thought I was going to get a cup of
Mr.
water.
Shiny, what's wrong, pal?
So while he's walking around this way to plug it in, I can't click on anything. So let's quickly go get in here and grab a jacket. Now we can pretend to be a doctor. Who would have guessed? And so there's a way to walk over here, a way to walk over here, and to talk to this guy. And I kind of am wondering just how much I want to do here. We've got a new doctor that showed up. Like, do I want to talk to everybody? Or do I want to just move forward with the story? Like...
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Oh, hi. Is this Ward J2?
Yes, sir. The patients are ready for your inspection, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse.
You'll need this, Doctor.
She gave me a long, narrow metal box and a stunning smile. Thanks.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
So, I have no idea what this device is. Let's ask you about that.
What is this device?
It's for taking the patient's blood pressure.
Oh,
Doctor.
that's what it's supposed to be. It's a blood pressure cuff. Ah, I kind of see it now. Let's see. Let's ask about this guy.
Do you have any clowns on the ward?
Why, yes, we do. A professional clown.
I'll bet he lightens the place up.
Hardly. Monsieur Boissy has been in a coma for the last 3 months.
Oh, the clown's in a coma.
What's wrong with Boissy?
He was involved in a very nasty accident. A silly stunt involving a unicycle. His current condition is due to post-traumatic shock. It's unlikely he'll ever perform as a clown again.
It's an ill wind that blows nobody any good.
Let's ask about the actual guy we care about.
Do you have a patient named Marquet on this ward?
Oui, monsieur. He is in the private room at the end of the ward. He has been placed in strict isolation.
Why is he in isolation?
Why is Marquet in quarantine?
If you wish to know more, you'll have to speak to Herr Hagenmeier. All I know is that Marquet's room is strictly out of bounds.
Do you know who paid for Marquet's room?
No, of course I don't.
Preferential treatment like that must cost an arm and a leg.
That's not my concern, monsieur.
Let's ask about all of our items, even though it probably is not going to do anything.
Is this plaster any use to you?
No, it isn't.
Do you want this,
Device for measuring blood pressure?
Yeah, do you want it back?
No, thank you.
So I'm going to use that for something. Things aren't actually getting marked off here, though.
Do you recognize this tissue?
No, I don't. It looks like a chronic health risk to me.
Well, I've been carrying it around for days and I'm okay.
And see, everything's not going dimmer now, so let's just skip to the important things, I suppose.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I don't.
Does this mean anything to you?
The Club à la Moute? I've never heard of it.
Let's see.
Does this tool mean anything to you?
I don't recognize it.
Ask about this. Can't even ask about that one. Interesting.
Do you know Merlin of Gruber Electronics?
No, I don't.
Is this plaster any use to you?
No, it isn't.
Let's see. Ask about the gym, I guess?
Does this gem mean anything to you?
It's beautiful, but I've never seen it before.
And let's see if we can shake her hand.
Would you like to shake hands with me?
Well,
No, it's okay. Forget it. Thank you, nurse.
au revoir, monsieur.
So, what do we have that we can click on? We can talk to the nurse, we can go back this way, and we've got only one patient we can talk to. And over here,
Doctor!
he's gonna keep me busy and stop me from walking further to the private room.
What is it?
You haven't taken my blood pressure.
Okay. Let's take his blood pressure.
Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
Of course I am.
No, you're not. Dr. Monroe never did it like that.
I can't take a satisfactory reading while you're excited like this. I'll come back later.
He wasn't doing it right.
Oh, Doctor,
What now?
you didn't finish taking my blood pressure.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to...
Okay, let's try again.
We're gonna have to manipulate the blood pressure cuff in some way to either make the guy pass out or do something else. That's not even the
You
arm
don't have
they
the
prefer
first
to
idea what you're
use.
doing, do you?
I'll come back when you've recovered your manners.
So people with fistulas, usually people on dialysis, don't use their left arms for anything at all. So not blood pressure readings or anything that could hurt their arms, or no draws or injections of drugs. And so he would have to have a fistula and be on dialysis or something like that for them to use his right arm. And that's just probably the video game creators didn't know that, but because by default they always want to listen and do blood pressure on the right arm, because the heart is more on the right side. It's not exactly in the center of the chest or something like that. I don't know exactly. Plus, you would want to have a stethoscope
Hello?
under those
What's that?
I said
old-fashioned
hello?
blood pressure
Oh,
meters
hiya.
I'd like to talk to
listen
you for
to
a
the
minute.
flow of blood.
That's what I thought you said. Don't look so
For
down
kind
in
of
the mouth. No
irregularities.
matter how bad things seem, I never let life get on top of me.
Oh, yeah? What's your secret?
Why, it's easy. All you have to do is smile and whistle this little tune.
You know what? If you start whistling, I'll bust you in the teeth.
It's a deal.
So let's talk to this guy. I guess he's probably not going to have anything important to say.
Have you seen any unsavory characters lurking about in the quarters?
No, sir, I haven't. But I've got nothing to worry about. What's that, Mr. Shiny? You'd take good care of the rascals, I'll bet you would. With a friend like him, I've no fear of oppressors.
It must be a great comfort.
He is.
Let's ask about this guy.
Do you know where I'd find a patient called Marquet?
No, I'm not allowed on the wards with Mr. Shiny.
Let's ask about Mr. Shiny.
Would Mr. Shiny be your polishing machine by any chance?
Please, don't call him that. He's more of a friend than a machine. I've had Mr. Shiny for 3 years, and he's never let me down once.
Let's continue asking questions about Mr. Shiny for no reason.
How come you got so attached to a polishing machine?
I asked you not to call him that. He's got a name, you know.
Yeah, Mr. Shiny. It's just that...
You think it's odd, don't you? I don't mind. The rest of the staff think I'm twisted. I heard them snorking behind me back when I gave Mr. Shiny his weekly pull through.
Are you having trouble with Mr. Shiny?
Yes, I am. I don't know what's got into him today. He keeps pulling his plug.
Let's ask about all these items now.
Do you recognize this powder?
Is that dandruff?
No way.
It sure looks like dandruff.
It's plaster.
Ugh.
How about this?
What does this tissue suggest to you?
You have a cold. What you need is vitamin C.
Take a look at this red nose.
Are you a policeman?
No, this is a clown's nose, not a policeman's.
Policemen don't have fake nose. What a silly sentence I just said.
Do you recognize this matchbook?
You should never ever play with matches.
I know that, but...
People get hurt when they do. They end up in hospital, like the burger lady. She was so burned up they didn't know whether to use bandages or onions.
Would this tool be any use to you?
No, sir. Mr. Shiny has no user serviceable parts. Whatever that means.
Yeah, a burger lady was burnt up. Maybe that has something to do with the museum, because they said a burger joint opened up around the corner of the museum, and that's why he was closing the window.
Do you recognize this pass?
No, I don't. Should I?
No, but I wondered if you'd seen a stranger flashing it about.
No, sir. But if I had, Mr. Shiny would take care of him.
Let's see. Let's ask about the diamond.
What do you think of this, Sam?
Oh, boy. What is it?
A priceless gemstone, found in a medieval castle in Ireland. Get me into Marquet's ward, and it's yours.
I don't wear jewellery.
If this gem was yours, you'd be able to buy 100 Mr. Shinies.
Don't be silly. There's only one Mr. Shiny.
Let's see. Blood pressure cuff. Nope.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Who is it?
That's what I'm asking you. Have you seen him before?
How should I know? You haven't told me who he is.
Take a look at the photo.
Yeah, okay.
Now, have you seen him before?
No.
Would you like to shake my hand?
Not until I've washed, if you don't mind, sir.
See you later.
Yeah, take care now.
So, nothing there. Nothing accomplished whatsoever by talking to that guy. I should talk to this doctor, and I think that's what's going to move this forward in the next recording. We're done with this recording. Let's see, have we crossed the 50% mark on the, according to the game? Yes, 53% done. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me further, click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.